The idea actually was not mine. It was my son's, Jacob's. He was a football player, and his coach led mission teams, and he suggested, or he talked to Jacob about doing it, just sort of by the by, and Jacob got in his head that we have one from Center Wellington. And after Jacob died, a group of his friends and I got together. 5 months later, we were in Honduras building a playground. What ended up happening is it started as a one-time trip, and the interest was just so great that we kept doing it. And the purpose is really this, that if we view people in the rest of the world as family or as brothers and sisters, we're not going to continue to turn our back on our family. In July, we do garbage pickup at the truck show, and then in August, we do garbage pickup at the Scottish Festival, and then in September, we do security at the Fall Fair, and we do a lot of bake sales, and we collect beer bottles, and all those glorious kinds of things. And then we have packing nights to sift through the mountains of giveaways that we have. Okay, so it takes 5 or 6 days to actually build the playground. But we also need days for interaction within the community, so that we work at feeding centers for children. We also do, because we're in Honduras, we want the teams to see what Honduras is like. So we will, hike up to through the rainforest into a waterfall. We spend a lot of time in the community in evenings as well, working with the community and getting to know people there. There are two moods, joy and sorrow, not much in between. A lot of joy to understand the happiness that comes with simplicity and with giving of yourself. A lot of joy in understanding that you get a whole lot more than you give. And a lot of sorrow in realizing the inequity of the world, and that it becomes much more real because you're not just driving past on a tour bus to a resort. You get to know the people, particularly the children, and see what conditions they really have to live in, and how unfair it is that they don't have enough food, or they don't have shoes on their feet to prevent parasites entering their swollen bellies, and that they can't go to school because even though there are no fees anymore, but only up until grade 6, they have to have a uniform, they have to have shoes, they have to have a backpack with the real school supplies. And their parents, kids don't often go past grade 6 because their parents need them to work.
My favorite part of Honduras is probably the first time I went to church, because there was a small boy there that I got really connected with, and the whole time we were there he just sat with me and Andrew. My other favorite part of Honduras was the last day that we built. All the kids came out at recess and they started playing with us during when we were still building, and they got to play on the playground for the first time. That was really exciting to see.
Well, the kids we build the playground for, they're kids. I mean, they have it's so much easier to get to know them because no one's really fearful that you're some stranger who's going to hurt them to begin with. So we're in a different kind of context, but we're always with kids, and a lot of them have never seen a playground before. So they are just fascinated with what we are doing, and the fact that we're using power tools, some of them have never seen them. The fact that girls build, I think, is also kind of jarring to some of them. But I mean, they are just thrilled to be around us at any point and to be building.
The most difficult thing about coming home is that you spend so much time with a small group of people, and when you get home it seems like the only thing you want to do is be with those people, and the only thing you want to talk about is your experience. And it's a hard thing to come back, and you want to relate your experiences to everybody, and you just can't do it.
I think I've changed because of this trip, because I'm now more aware of what's going on in the world. Like, before, when you see like all this poverty, you don't understand it until you see it like firsthand, and you actually meet the kids and see all the families. And when you give the food deliveries, that's when you see it the most, and that's what I think changed me the most.
Everyone who goes to Honduras changes, and if they don't, I can't even think of one person who hasn't, then they've missed the whole idea. The notion that on some level this is a very soulful or spiritual journey, and the whole point of youth and growing up is that you investigate that part of you, that you become in tune with. This isn't just about me anymore, being in this world, and looking beyond yourself and changing your heart and understanding that we are so privileged, and with that privilege, what can we do to change the world? And I honestly believe that almost all kids want to change the world. One year at a time. That's pretty much the future, because it's hard to plan for anything more than a year at a time. I have no intention of giving them up, but we'll just see how it goes.